And what did you do?
No, when the nanny came up, I actually walked down the stairs with him.
With the two children?
Yes.
And did you then go back upstairs?
Yes.
Okay. And when you went back upstairs, if you recall, what was taking place? Or was it the same?
It was the same thing. Alberto was no longer assisting with the CPR, though. Dr. Murray was just by himself at that point, and Alberto was just back in the same position, just standing up, kind of pacing around, which is all waiting for the ambulance.
Okay. And actually, when you had come in, had you asked Alberto if 911 had been called?
Yes, that was the first question I asked.
And did he tell you that 911 had been called?
Yes, he did.
Okay. That was the first question you asked?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you have reason to leave the room again then to get the vehicles ready or things of that nature?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. What did you do in that regard?
After I came back up and I realized that after I came back up, Alberto was pacing around, Dr. Murray was on the ground trying to do what he was trying to do. I realized that it's a possibility that the ambulance could take some time. So I went back downstairs, I got the securities that were on guard, and I had them line the vehicles up just in case we might have to take them ourselves.
Okay. And then shortly thereafter, did the paramedics arrive?
Yes.
Okay. And who escorted them up into the room?
I did.
And were you in the room as the paramedics attempted to revive Mr. Jackson, or were you in and out, or just please describe your activities during that time after the paramedics arrived?
For a majority of the time after the paramedics arrived, I was in the room. I can only recall leaving the room once, and that was twice. And that was to put the children in the car once, so that when they brought their father out on the gurney or however they brought him out, so that they wouldn't have to see his body. And the second time was to just alert the security that he would possibly be coming out soon, and we got to just keep our guard up for the paparazzi because they were already climbing in the trees just trying to get different shots.
Okay. Now, do you know what an IV stand is?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see an IV stand in the room when you came in? Or at some point while you were up in the room?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recall where it was in the room when you came up?
No, sir.
Okay. Other than the IV stand, did you notice any other medical type equipment?
No, sir.
Now, at some point, did you observe Mr. Jackson being brought down on a gurney by the paramedics?
Yes.
Okay. And where were you when that happened?
I was already downstairs on that last trip downstairs to alert the other guards about him possibly coming down soon. That was when they actually began to bring him down.
Okay. So you were already downstairs and saw him coming down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay. And where were the children at that point?
In the vehicle.
And did you see Mr. Jackson being loaded into the paramedics' vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And you were downstairs still?
Yes.
Outside?
Yes.
What happened then?
Dr. Murray hopped in the paramedics' car with the paramedics with Mr. Jackson, and we all hopped in our vehicles and trailed him to the hospital.
Okay. And so you followed behind the paramedic vehicle?
Yes.
And did you follow them to UCLA?
Yes.
And what did you personally do immediately upon arriving at UCLA?
First, as we arrived, the paparazzi were trying to swarm the paramedics. So the first thing we did was shield his body. We took off our jackets, shielded them so that they couldn't get too many pictures of him going inside. Then we shielded his children with our jackets and helped carry them inside. And once everything was inside, I contacted the head security, or I believe it was a police officer for the UCLA hospital. And I made contact with him. I let him know who was with us, who wasn't with us, and the type of paparazzi and people that he would be getting. People saying they were related to him, people saying all these things, and that cleared through us before you let any of them anywhere around this whole situation.
Okay. And so the children Prince, Paris, and Blanket, were they put into a room?
Yes, sir, they were.
Okay.
Yes.
And then at this point, then did you see Michael being taken into the emergency room?
Yes, immediately he was taken to the emergency room.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then the children were put in a room?
Yes.
Okay. And you described the security arrangements, at least at that point?
Yes.
At that point in time, then, what were you doing?
Well, there was a lot going on with his family arriving and, people trying to sneak in. So I was back and forth between checking on him and what was going on and checking with the security and making sure his family was able to get in and making sure different people that were arriving that were supposed to be there were able to get in.
Okay. Were you at UCLA at the hospital when you learned that Michael Jackson had been pronounced dead?
Yes.
Did Dr. Murray approach you directly?
Yes, sir, he did.
Okay. And what, if anything, did he say to you at that time?
He said that he needed to, he said that he was hungry and he wanted to get something to eat. And so he needed a ride, he needed to leave.
Okay.
So.
And did you agree to give him a ride?
No, sir.
What did you tell him?
Yeah, we can't take you anywhere. I told him there was actually a cafeteria at the hospital.
And after you told him that there was a cafeteria at the hospital, did you see him go anywhere?
Yes, sir, I saw him leave.
What did you see exactly?
Well, the way the hospital is set up, there's glass doors in a L shape. So I could see him go through this door and then come through this side of the glass and eventually walk all the way out and exit. I couldn't see him actually exit, but I just seen him walking towards where he was exiting at.
So you actually at that time saw him walk out of the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Describe this way, that way, if you could.
Wait, is this, I'll clarify, you're right.
All right, thanks.
This is in the lobby area of UCLA?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And there's glass windows.
Yes, sir.
If you're in the lobby looking outside, there's basically a wall of glass?
Yes.
Okay. And there's also before you get to the actual exit door, there's kind of an exit room encased in glass. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. And could you see, from your vantage point, if someone was to walk out of the lobby and go into that rectangular glass enclosed room immediately before exiting the building, could you see all of that area?
Yes.
Okay. And you were actually in the lobby at that time?
Yes, I was.
Okay. I have one moment, Your Honor.
Sure.
Mr. Williams, do you recall what Conrad Murray was wearing that day?
Mr. Muhammed.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Muhammed.
I'm sorry. Mr. Muhammad, do you recall what Conrad Murray was wearing that day?
Yes, sir. A white shirt with some writing on it, and I believe the khaki pants.
Okay. Is it possible to make it darker, Your Honor?
It is. Benson.
Do you see Conrad Murray in this video?
Yes, sir.
And do you have the pointer? Can you identify?
Yes, sir. Right there.
And is this in the lobby area that you described at UCLA?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Left-hand side of it.
Thank you, Your Honor. And again, on the left-hand side of the photo, do you see, are these kind of the glass, the wall of glass that was described earlier?
Yes.
Okay. And does this depict the lobby area that you testified to as far as you seeing Conrad Murray at least walk toward the exit area?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to play the video at this time. Is that what you saw, Mr. Williams? Okay.
Yes.
And after Conrad Murray goes off camera at the bottom of this video, just you personally, did you see Conrad Murray again?
No, sir.
Okay.
Can you turn on the lights?
Sure, Your Honor. Thank you.
Or do you need
No, that's fine. Please.
Ms. Benson?
After you personally saw Conrad Murray walk toward that area, did you personally see Conrad Murray again?
No, sir.
Okay. But you don't know where he went?
No.
Okay. You don't know if he re-entered the building or not?
The hospital?
Correct.
No, sir.
Okay. But this depicts where you were at the time you saw Conrad Murray walk toward the exit.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you'd said earlier, Mr. Muhammad, that you didn't see any medical equipment, but you did see an IV stand in the room. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you recall where the IV stand was when you came into the room?
Yes, I believe it was near the bed, to the right, to the far side of the bed.
Okay. And did you make any observations about the IV stand one way or another?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me show you a picture. This would be marked People's 25, Your Honor.
It is?
Showing you People's 25. No. Just switch back to Elmo, Your Honor. Can you see an IV stand in this picture, People's 25, Mr. Muhammad?
Yes.
Okay. And I know the quality on this Elmo's poor, but do you see in this picture it has what appears to be a saline bag and some tubing hanging from it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember seeing that one way or another on June 25th?
No, sir.